Thursday, June 26th, and there is no coincidence that I just happened to pick this Sell t-shirt to wear on today's show. I know that there's always a winning pitcher and a losing pitcher of record in every single Major League Baseball game. Can we please start attaching John Fisher and Dave Cavill's names to the losses, the embarrassing losses that the Oakland A's have to suffer through because of this frickin' ownership group? And, oh, by the way, baseball has just ruined everything. Hi, welcome to the Damon Brew Show. It's good to have you here on the Plus today. Thank you for joining us once again. It's wonderful to have you. It's not just a show. It's a freaking movement that we got going here. We should be at 6,500 subscribers by the end of the day, which is just making me all kinds of happy. Thank you very, very much for helping our humble little experiment continue to get off the ground. We're getting a little bit better by the day. Unfortunately, baseball is not. Well, at least A's baseball is not. Last night was the real crime in it all is we now are at a point in baseball where it's hard because of the choices that have made by the people who run one franchise and the person that oversees baseball as its commissioner are such glory thieves. Last night, a perfect game is something that is bona fide historic happening, and you can't even enjoy it because of the people who hold the puppet strings of this sport in their hands. It's a shame. It really is. Like, that is what Rob Manfred and John Fisher and Dave Cavill's biggest sin really is. They're stealing genuine memories and moments from the sport and from fans. That was the single most perfect game in Major League history, what happened over at the Coliseum last night. There has never been a bona fide, historic, glorious moment cloaked in less glory than last night's Domingo Germán perfect game. First of all, he is a player that it's really hard to feel good about rooting for. He threw a perfect game, a player that's hard to root for, threw a perfect game at a location that no one is now allowed to just walk in and enjoy because of the specter of moving to Vegas that hangs over every single inning of A's baseball that they play at the Coliseum. And you're not even allowed to enjoy it because that's a team that's trying to lose. I mean, the A's are built to lose. They're not built to win. They're not out there trying to contend or be a competitive Major League Baseball team in any way. It's a situation that everyone in baseball would rather have you forget about. I think it was David Sampson on the Le Batard show, or, he's part of the Le Batard group of friends. David Sampson basically said it's a player that baseball wants you to forget about and a team that baseball wants you to forget about playing in a city that baseball wants you to forget about. So Rob Manfred's nightmare come true. Is that what we saw last night? Look, Domingo Germán, he pitched an incredible game last night. He 99 pitches, no walks, no hits. This is a guy who served a 10-game suspension for having a hand that was so full of rosin against the Toronto Blue Jays. The crew chief said he's never felt a stickier hand in all the pitcher hand inspections that they've done. So Domingo Germán has been suspended for trying to cheat pitching this year already, and a couple of years ago, he served an 81-game domestic abuse suspension. I mean, hard to root for would be the best way to describe him. Yankees fans found him hard to root for. What do you have, an ERA over 5 and a record that was sub 500? As a matter of fact, he allowed 15 earned runs on 15 hits in 5 1/3 innings over his previous 2 starts. But boy, do the Oakland A's have whatever cures your struggling baseball team waiting for you in what is a glorified AAA lineup. It's a whole bunch of guys who probably shouldn't be here, probably wouldn't be in Oakland or in Major League Baseball unless someone was looking for the cheapest possible labor force, which, of course, John Fisher is looking for. And it just sucks. Because you know what a perfect game is? A perfect game, whether it happens to your team or for your team, if you are lucky enough to be in that ballpark, you have seen something that is historic, and you got to appreciate it. I don't know how many A's fans were even left in that park to appreciate it, unless you glommed onto the fact that no one has reached first base tonight. And there's a perfect game going on, so I'm not going to get out of here early because it's a big crooked number, Yankees, 0 A's, and I'm out of here tonight. Maybe you did stick around, but that place was easily 90% Yankee fans at the end of the evening, and the whole thing just sucks to high heaven. There's no other way around it. There really isn't. Again, Rob Manfred's sin is stealing memories. John Fisher's sin, greed. It's not vanity. He doesn't want to be attached to anything. But his sin of greed and Rob Manfred's sin of not even caring about the sport that he's the commissioner of, their biggest sin is robbing memories. They're robbing future memories by taking a team away from a community when that happens. They're robbing current being made in real time memories because you just can't feel good about anything that's happening. I mean, of all of the perfect games in the history of Major League Baseball, last night's was the least valuable because it didn't even really come against a Major League Baseball team. The A's aren't even trying to field a Major League Baseball team. So, Domingo Germán, congratulations on your piece of shit perfect game. It's not quite the sip of the day, but that was a good one. That was a good one. Dave Stewart's face said it all last night. Did you see Dave Stewart's face rolling into the postgame show? It was Townie and Dave Stewart doing the postgame show on the set, and Townie's going through his opening monologue. He's opening the broadcast, and Dave Stewart is just sitting there, and he looks like he is ready to stab somebody to death. He has just had it with this A's season. It's part of the picture of today's show's thumbnail. And it's a good one. I even saw one of our early Ryzen plusers, Baron Red, said, I need that Stu pick for a meme. Like when someone posts something stupid. Yeah, dude, Dave Stewart has had it with the Oakland A's this season. It is good to see a whole bunch of people in early. Postman from Capitola in Lake Como. Oy, oy, oy! Thank you for the oy, oy, oy from Lake Como. That is good living out there. Tell hello, say hello to George Clooney for us. Book him on the show if you can for us. Eric Johnson, who goes deep into old show music, was talking with Rockin' New Era 84, also like a musical historian of the Damon Bruce show. And they're talking about the Budos band, saying, I haven't switched from Up From the South. Yeah, man, that's some good Budos band right there. And yes, I used to use that as bumper music. And maybe someday we will again. But yeah, Irwin even says, dude, Dave Stewart, hard has the ultimate stare down. He really did. He really, really did. He looked like he was ready to throw inside and brush Townie back. I mean, he was not happy. He was not happy. How could any A's fan be happy about anything? Even the wins or losses when it comes to the A's, and then to be on the wrong side of history, the whole thing feels like an insult. So maybe you got to do something to pick yourself up and make yourself feel good. And one of the best ways to do that is to go ahead and if I could if I could quote what in Z's and Sorry from Parks and Recs, sometimes you just got to go ahead and treat yourself. This is what I'm talking about when we're talking about lunch today. Go treat yourself. Go get yourself some Ike's. Nearly 100 locations. The 100th location will be coming soon. and I believe it's coming to the Bay Area, but I can't share any inside information with you. I will tell you that you need to get yourself inside of an Ike's, and if you can't, download that Ike's app and have Ike's delivered to you. Very good chance that it can reach you no matter where you are. A delicious sandwich coming straight to your mouth from Ike's is a really good way to treat yourself. If you want to go ahead and treat yourself to a delicious cheeseburger, get yourself to Uncle Boy's. Uncle Boy's, a San Francisco original in the Inner Richmond, Balboa and 4th. It is a delicious burger. They are fantastic onion rings. And I keep on saying this, lumpia, lumpia, lumpia. Get yourself the lumpia. I know you're thinking like, you know what would go good with this burger? Some fries or some onion rings. And you're right. Those do go great with burgers. Lumpia. Get yourself a burger with a side of lumpia. Call it a day right there. Go to Uncle Boy's, pick it up, get it to go. It's a great to-go restaurant. Grab it, bag it, get home, eat it, enjoy it. You'll be happy that you did. And then we're safe and sound in the comfort of your own home. Why not crack out a nice little rocks glass and pour yourself 3 fingers worth of blackened whiskey. Fantastic whiskey. Some of the best whiskey I've ever tried at the price point that you can pick it up at Bevmo or a lot of places where you go out and you get your liquor. If you're in a place where you get your liquor and they don't have blackened whiskey, ask them to order some and then pick up a bottle. Giving people your business is one of the best ways to support the Damon Bruce Show by supporting our sponsors. Support Blackened, support Uncle Boy's, and support Ike's. That's how you go ahead and you support me. And you can even, if you would like, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button if you haven't already. It would mean an awful lot to me if you indeed do that. The perfect game, the imperfect perfect game last night was the first perfect game in Major League Baseball in 11 seasons, not since King Felix in August of 2012. 2012 is, I believe, the correct way to say that. Not since King Felix threw a perfect game in Seattle in 2012. It became the 24th perfect game in Major League history. Again, I believe more men have walked on the moon than we have had perfect games. So it is rarefied air indeed. If you were there last night, I hope you enjoyed it. You did get history served to you, although the lowest grade of history possible. And look, I've been lucky enough to be at a perfect game. The 22nd perfect game in Major League history was thrown by Matt Cain on June 13th, 2012 against the Houston Astros. He recorded 14 strikeouts that night, tying Sandy Koufax Major League record strikeout total for most strikeouts in a perfect game. Cain had 14 that night. And none of it would have happened without an unbelievable catch from Gregor Blanco. I will never forget that catch, one of the all-time catches in the history of 24 Willie Mays Plaza. It was all day and night long special, laid out fully, horizontal on the right center field warning track to make an unbelievable catch. Gregor Blanco's signature moment with the San Francisco Giants was that catch in Matt Cain's perfect game. It really, truly was. It was unbelievable. And I was lucky enough to be in the ballpark that night. And it is one of the single greatest sporting events, if not the greatest sporting event I've ever seen with my own two eyes, in terms of just the pressure, the intensity. When you reach that ninth inning of a perfect game, it's like the entire barometer just puts pressure on everything and everyone. I'm up pacing around a press box that night. When the game was over, I went into the clubhouse, did all the interviews, and like I so often used to do when I was covering the Giants on a nightly basis on KNBR, I would go into the empty ballpark. Well, the ballpark, after a perfect game, empties out a little bit slower, and that includes the ground crew putting the field to sleep. There are a whole bunch of things that are done after a Major League Baseball game that happens to sort of reset the field for its grooming tomorrow when you play another game. They put the field to sleep, the grounds crew does, and they usually are tampering with the mound. Well, I went out to the mound to join the grounds crew on the night of Matt Cain's perfect game after I had grabbed a paper cup this paper cup from the press box, and I filled it with the clay that was on the mound of Matt Cain's perfect game, and I have etched this in the least dramatic way. Cain, perfect game, the cup from the night of, the dirt from the night of, and I also have this ball from the night of. It came out of the Giants' dugout. I don't know if it was a game-used ball. I'll tell everyone who asked me, was that used in Matt Cain's perfect game? Yeah, of course it was. I have no idea. It's just a ball from the dugout that night. But this ball was in the Major League Stadium the night Matt Cain threw his perfect game, and I've had this cup of clay from the pitcher's mound that night. And of all of my Major League memorabilia that I've collected throughout the years, this is one of my favorites. It really has. And I take this and I put the ball in the cup, protecting, like corking the dirt in there so it doesn't come out. I'm sure there should be some very fancy display case concocted for this by now. But again, if I haven't done it by now, I'm probably just not going to do it. And what I do is I take this, and I can't even display it behind me because I would look crazy to have a paper cup sitting on the shelf that you couldn't read and couldn't understand. And I also have two boys who will come and take this and start spilling dirt all over themselves. So I have to actually hide this behind these books. I put this behind the books so the boys can't get to it. But there you go. My Matt Cain perfect game memory right there. It's a nice little shaker. Shake, shake, shake. There you go. That's what perfection sounds like. There you go. A little show and tell today. I had to wear this Cell shirt. I had to today. Again, I'm watching a perfect game, and the only feeling that I'm really feeling is frustration and anger and being pissed off. And I've said it once before. I'm sure I'll say it again, but I want to say it right now. Fuck John Fisher. Oh, I hate you. Here comes the sip of the day. That's good. That's good. So this afternoon, the A's are sending rookie Hogan Harris to the slab to try to quiet the Yankees. That is a 12 o'clock something in the 12 o'clock hour start. The Giants are going with Keaton Winn as their opener tonight in Toronto. He faces former Oakland A, Chris Bassett. A win today would give the Giants the series before heading to Queens to meet the Mets on Friday. By the way, the Mets owner Steve Cohn last night or yesterday afternoon had his one-man press conference that was supposed to steal the back page of the New York Post and be the big to-do conversation as, you know, here comes the owner of the Mets, the spend-at-all-costs owner of the Mets doing a one-man press conference because he is pissed about the ROI, return on investment, that he is getting for the money that he's plopped down on the New York Mets this season. So he had his It's Getting Late Early one-man press conference that I'm sure was supposed to generate some interest in the team or certainly win the day in New York media. And you got to love the fact that that's happening on the same day that the Yankees throw a not even a no-hitter, a perfect game. Again, Steve Cohn, you might have a whole bunch of money, but it will not impress the baseball gods who have not smiled upon your team and then smiled upon the Yankees on a night where you were hoping to grab some headlines. All headlines in New York are obviously being dedicated to perfection. Anyways, chef's kiss to all of that. Cohn is not happy with the play that he's getting for the money that he's spent. And he suggested the possibility of a trade deadline sell-off if the Mets don't start getting their act together, and they got a big act to get together. Remember, this is the highest payroll in the history of Major League Baseball. Factoring in all the luxury tax and everything like that, the New York Mets are at a projected $360 million payroll this year, and they are 36-44. They're 17 games back of first place Atlanta. 9 games out of the National League's last wild card. Not good. So Steve Cohn is saber rattling. He's not happy. And maybe when you're looking for a possible training partner for the Giants, if they're about to get aggressive in any way, shape, or form, they're going to do a little scouting of the New York Mets, because that whole thing could get blown up, written all over it. ESPN said mediocrity has permeated the Mets' all-star studded roster, with future Hall of Famers Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander struggling to live up to their standards while being paid a combined $86 million. Additionally, Francisco Lindor is hitting .223. Pete Alonso has come back since his bone bruise and a sprain in his left wrist, and Pete Alonso is back hitting .157. He's got a slash line of .157, .232, .431. That ain't Pete Alonso numbers. So not a lot of happiness at Citi Field. So maybe the Giants are catching the Mets at the right time. Let's see if the Giants can pick up a series win in Toronto with a win this evening. This evening, what's on TV to watch? If you are interested in a little golf and some on-course, probably produced with some suggestions of, here, guys, talk about this. People are listening. The match is happening tonight. It is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce taking on Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. By the way, Andre Iguodala's got to be like, how the hell did I get left out of this golf trip? Steph Curry and Klay Thompson going against Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce in a made-for-TV on the course at the, what is that, the Wynn? The Bellagio? That's the Wynn course, I believe. And that's happening tonight. I can't even feign interest in it for you. I can't. Will I put it on? I'm going to go with a maybe. Maybe I'll just throw it on to see it, and I'm certainly not interested in the results, and I don't care who wins, and I don't care who shoots well, and I just don't care. I don't care. Sorry. I don't care. Saw this story, though, about Travis Kelce on ESPN, saying that, my managers and agents love to tell me how underpaid I am. And when I started looking through the rest of this story, it's true. Travis Kelce is very much underpaid. I don't know if there's anybody in their position in all of football who's as singularly good at his position as Travis Kelce is at playing tight end. He's the best receiving tight end in the history of football. He might as well be a wide receiver. He is the straw that stirs the drink that's not named Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs defense. It wasn't Tyreek Hill at all. They lost Tyreek Hill and won a Super Bowl. So Travis Kelce, boys and girls, he's unbelievable. Chiefs have won 2 of the past 4 Super Bowls. Kelce, who's 33, is ranked 52nd among highest paid NFL players, making $11.25 million, which, by the way, goes pretty far in Kansas City. He's doing really, really well. This isn't we got to get Travis Kelce paid. Oh, no. He's doing great. He's doing great. He's the 3rd highest paid tight end. He should be the highest paid tight end. The 2 others in front of him are George Kittle making $15 million and Darren Waller, who hit the market at the right time for the New York Giants to spend $17 million on him. But the fact that Travis Kelce is anything less than the highest paid tight end and isn't in the top 10 paid players in football, it feels insane, given how impactful he is every single time I watch the Chiefs. He might be a better tight end than Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback. And Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football by a lot. Although there are guys that, you could take and win a lot of games there, but Travis Kelce is just unbelievable. It's amazing that he is the 52nd highest paid player in football. Find me 52 guys who are more impactful every single game than Travis Kelce. Tomorrow, we got ourselves NBA news a-poppin' as free agency begins. I saw that the Clippers are cutting Eric Gordon, so you can add Eric Gordon's name to the list of looking for work somewhere else. He was due $21 million next season. It wasn't guaranteed, and the Clippers said, Peace out. Thank you very much for the memories. Eric Gordon isn't as good as he used to be. He's still a pretty good player. I don't know if anyone's going to pay him that. Maybe he'll be a veteran minimum spite signing with the Warriors because he likes playing with Chris Paul that much. Probably not. Probably not. But I can't even begin. And I joined Cyrus Satsis on Locked On Warriors yesterday. And I knew that he was going to say, so when it comes to free agency, Damon, who are you interested in the Warriors signing? And my answer for him was, I don't even know what players are sitting in the penny dish that the Warriors have to be signing players from. You know, the penny dish, when you go to the gas station, you actually go in, you play with cash, and it's a take a penny, leave a penny. That's where the Warriors free agent is going to come from. The Warriors free agent will be coming off of three categories. Veterans who want to chase a ring and are willing to play for pennies. Players who have lost their earning power and the Warriors decide they want to give a flyer on them because the price is right. The Warriors will be dealing with the leftovers and anyone who wants to sign just out of spite. So what players are playing for Team Spite this year? Yeah, I'll take a lot less money to go try to win with the Warriors. And do the Warriors really, turning around to the NBA, present the, hey, you sign with us, you got a chance to win a title? Is that who they still are? I said this, the only thing that I'm sure about this Warriors offseason is that I'm very excited in Trace Jackson Davis and what he might look like as a Warrior in his rookie year. And I'm very excited for just this next NBA season to start, like mid-October, late October, can't get here fast enough. I am all in on how interesting, for good and for bad, the Warriors are about to be this year. I'm ready for it. That sounds like a pretty good sign-up for me. The other bit of news today that is going to make, I'm guessing, Joe Lacob pretty happy is that the Warriors put in a bid to host the 2025 NBA All-Star Game at Chase Center. It's actually remarkable that they don't have that game already played in that building or aren't already formally scheduled on the All-Star rotation. Like that building is still very much new, but it doesn't have its new car smell anymore. It's not brand new. And normally you open a brand new building, you get an all-star game as fast as you can get it. For whatever reason, pandemic, whatever, it hasn't come. I'm going to tell you, an NBA all-star game at Chase Center will be glamorous for the glamorous crowd. Not for you and me. I mean, if we had to buy tickets to that, we'd be lucky to get in the last 3 rows of the upper deck. It's an expensive ticket. But Chase Center has all kinds of VIP nooks and crannies for all the celebs to come in, and it is the All-Star game at Chase Center would be a really big deal, and it brings some really good business into San Francisco, so there you go. The other places that are in contention to host the 2025 NBA All-Star game are Phoenix, Los Angeles, Milwaukee. No one wants to go to Milwaukee. I don't think it's going to be Milwaukee. LA, are they going to... Now, is that like at the place that Ballmer is going to have open by them? Will he have it open by then? I don't know. Are they talking about doing that at Don't Call It Staples Center anymore? In which case, you can skip that. Phoenix is... got an arena that's had some upgrades to it. Their new owner's probably going to put even more money into that building, but no. Here's the thing. It's time for Chase Center to have an all-star game. So there you go. Not that the all-star game is necessarily even watchable. There's no defense being played in it, but there you go. The other story that is developing is that the NFL is coming down hard on 4 players for gambling violations. That's happening. ESPN reports that Isaiah Rodgers and Rashad Berry of the Indianapolis Colts, free agent Demetrius Taylor, all suspended indefinitely, so through at least the upcoming season, for betting on NFL games last season. Tennessee Titans offensive tackle Nicholas Pettit-Farrar is being suspended 6 games for betting on other sports, but he did so from within the Titans facility. So I guess he is allowed to bet on other sports, but you better be doing that at home, because if you do it in the NFL facility, you can get in trouble that way too. Sources familiar with the activity at the online sportsbook account used by Isaiah Rodgers of the Colts told ESPN's David Purdom on Thursday that upwards of 100 bets were placed, including at least one wager on a game involving the Colts. A source told ESPN that friends of Rodgers who were in Florida encouraged him to place many of the wagers. All I can tell you is Isaiah Rodgers is you need better friends. Little tip to anyone watching who's got a friend in the NFL, you should not be encouraging them to bet on anything using an online app. Like, what do I got to teach you guys how to be criminals? Even doing this is a legal activity, right? Well, I guess there isn't gambling in Florida yet. But like, I feel like Stringer Bell in The Wire. Like, are you taking notes on a criminal conspiracy? Like, if your friends are encouraging you to bet, put them on a cheap flight to Las Vegas or Atlantic City or whatever they allow sports betting, and have them do it in cash there. Oh, there's a better thought. Don't bet on the sport you play in. What, are you kidding me? What kind of friends are encouraging their friend who's in the NFL to do something that could submarine their earning power as a professional athlete so they can make a $50 wager on a 3-team parlay or whatever the hell it is? That's just like, what the fuck are you guys thinking? You know, this is clearly not crew big brains. So the Titans player who's suspended 6 games told Adam Schefter, the betting I was engaged on was not NFL related and was legal under Tennessee state law. It's only being sanctioned because it occurred at the Titans facility. If you are a professional athlete and you want to gamble, wait until you retire and then gamble your dick off. You know what I mean? Just wait. Just wait. I mean, you're chasing dimes while you're threatening dollars. What are you doing? I need to be on speed dial for professional athletes to come and ask Uncle Damon, what's the right thing to do? And normally, the right thing to do is, whatever you're about to do, don't do that. Just don't. Just don't. It's real simple. Are you a professional athlete? If you check the box yes, don't gamble on sports. Don't gamble on sports if you're a professional athlete until you're done being a professional athlete, in which case you can probably get yourself, if you were a high enough profile of professional athlete, an endorsement deal with one of these gambling accounts. I mean, it's just insane. It's insane. Before we slip over into Club Plus today, I want to wrap up with a story that, again, I don't know what to believe here, but a UFO expert says that he's got the photo to prove he has seen a UFO. Okay, let's read a little bit about this, because I did click on the photo and there's no doubt that he's got a picture of something. But it's so blurry, it's so far away, it's, like every other definitive UFO photo, there's nothing definitive about it. Is it odd? Sure, it's odd. It is technically an unidentifiable object in the air. But what it is, what it's doing, where it's from, cannot be garnered by this photograph. I looked at it. And to me, there's a lot of these UFO sightings. How come not one of them has a good picture? Not one of them. Not one. We are literally a society of everyone. I see homeless people with iPhones. Everybody has the ability to nearly take professional pictures with the phone that's in their pocket, yet we can't get a clear picture of a single UFO from any continent on the planet, not never. And I'm not saying something isn't up there. I don't know. I'm not so arrogant to think that we are the only measurable, intelligent life in a universe that goes to infinity in every direction. That would be arrogant. But how come the only people cranking out definitive UFO pictures are UFO experts? Like, wouldn't a guy named Mike have seen one by now, or Sully, or just, hi, I'm Kevin. Kevin, what do you do? I fix radiators, and I got this picture of a UFO. It's always the UFO expert. Like, if your photograph that you're now debating about Bigfoot is being generated by some guy who in his spare time chases Sasquatch sightings, something's goofy right there. Like, I need to see a definitive UFO picture from someone who's not billing themselves as a UFO expert. The photos were taken with a Nikon P900 digital camera and appear to show the side view of a UFO as well as the underside of the mysterious flying object. The guy who took the picture, the UFO expert, his name is John Mooner. Is that his real last name? I mean, you're chasing aliens and your last name's Mooner. That's really well done, John, if that's your nom de plume for chasing UFOs. He says that he then saw the object fly away at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, first of all, you've never seen 1,000 miles an hour. You don't know what 1,000 miles an hour would even look like. So don't tell me that you got it clocked at 1,000 miles an hour. Look, I'm not saying that there isn't someone up there. I'm just saying that if they are up there, I don't think they're like visiting in any way that we need to be concerned about. And in a world of everybody, I mean, we're talking billions of people have professional quality cameras in their pocket. We can't get one clear, non-fuzzy, there it is image of any of these. So I don't think I believe in it, man. I don't.
You're going to have to do a little bit more to convince me that there's a UFO out there. You're flying saucers. I need somebody who isn't claiming to be a UFO expert to show me this.
I always liked the question, if you were elected president of the United States, how long do you have to wait until you ask if aliens are real? Because you've got to figure the U.S. government would know, right? They would have that definitive answer at some point. How long do you have to wait as president to find that out? And who the hell didn't tell Donald Trump? Because you know for a fact if he knew, he'd be, the aliens, they're out there. I've seen it. I know it. My son got $1 billion. My son-in-law's got $1 billion from them. You know he would spill the beans, or the beans would be available in a box in a bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. And no, that's not me going Fiesta Politico. That's me using a political figure to tell a joke about UFOs. So don't get your panties in a bunch. And I guess that's really good advice to end any show with. Don't let anything bother you too much. It sucks that I had to watch and you had to watch a perfect game happen last night, and the whole thing made you feel icky. Didn't feel like history, just felt like a moment of yuck. That stinks. Thank God we have the pure soul that is Shohei Ohtani to save all of us. Sell the team. Sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Oh, wait, where's my plug? There it is. Hold on, we got to turn this down just a little. One notch down, right? Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's sexy time. Yeah. Hold on. I got to tangle. There we go. Untangled. Behold. Welcome to Club Plus. It is great to have you here today. Let's see what all the chit-chatters are chit-chatting about. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and work backwards. Instead of taking you back in time to the beginning of the show, I'm going to work currently and go backwards. And we will begin with Chappie Ramirez, a new name. Chappie, I don't think I've seen your name before. It says, nice to see your channel growing with the number of subs. It is, Chappie. Thank you. It really is. Thanks to all of you who are letting that happen. It means an awful, awful lot that you guys are interested in what I'm doing. And I'll tell you right now, there is no doubt that people in the Bay Area, after almost 20 years of listening to me on the radio, are still coming to me, still finding me for their breaking news and their sports news. It was never about the station I was on. It was about me. So thank you. Thank you very much for following me and finding me. It means the world to me and my family. This is how we're supporting the family right now, and it means an awful lot that you would support me. So thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for doing it. And oh, by the way, my revenge will be sweet, swift, and uncompromising. Maybe a little bit more. Little bit better to see? No, hold on. Wait, maybe a little bit more. There you go. Maybe that's a little bit better. I can already hear Jillian saying, you know, it's fun to have Club Plus, but we shouldn't not be able to see you. I got to agree with her there. By the way, Jillian will be getting back from London on Friday. Looking forward to her returning. It has been a double dip of dad duty all week long. And both kids are still here. They haven't wandered off like feral cats. So, you know, I'm doing a good job. Doing a good job. Baron Red says, dude hanging out solo with a camera and a radar gun. Sounds like drugs were involved.
Oh, does it? Does it sound like drugs might have been involved? I wonder what... hold on.
UFO time.
I wonder what the ganja quotient is for UFO chasers. Do you think they're chasing UFOs looking for tips in the ganja jar? I mean, if I were a UFO chaser, there would be ganja involved. Let's face it, I'm not a UFO chaser and there's ganja involved.
Talking about the government, even if they have the answer, it has to be no. If it was yes, there's too many people to keep it a secret. Daniel, that's, you know, you're right. I mean, it would be really hard to keep the UFO a secret. But I don't know. Maybe they straight up tell you, like, yeah, welcome to the government. Welcome to the secret hallway. If you ever tell a secret from the secret hallway, not only do we come after you, but your entire family gets disappeared. Is that enough to keep your mouth shut? Again, I need to see UFO images from people who aren't claiming to be UFO experts. That's what I need. Irwin, dude was probably on some good ganja to clock the 1,000 miles. Indeed. Michael, cocaine, hell of a drug. Indeed, cocaine is a hell of a drug. I heard that cocaine is making a huge comeback. Like there's an awful lot of it. They can't even like give it away. So people are buying it and there's a lot of it. And I don't need any cocaine in my life anymore. I got kids. Never really had much of it to begin with. Not my drug. I don't need a drug that makes you a bigger asshole. I don't need that. I need depressants, not accelerants. Yo, Adrian, my dad swears up and down that he and his coworkers saw one. Full disclaimer, my father is a big-time stoner. So, look, I got to tell you, there was one night where my family had just kind of moved to Indiana. We're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we're all sitting out one night in the backyard, and there was this odd glowing bulb that came into the sky and then went away. And I don't know what the hell it was. I can't explain it. We thought we saw something too. We tried to take a picture of it in the camera. I mean, this was like before flip phones even were invented. So, you know, we tried to take a camera of it with like a a Polaroid, and it just looks so stupid. We decided, yeah, we're never going to talk about this again. We're not going to talk about any of that. Michael, this part of the show is hilarious. Good point on UFOs. John Mooner. It's hard to chase a UFO. Hard to trust a UFO chaser named Mooner. Mooner, I hardly know her. Talking about merch that we're going to sell someday. AJ Cruz 75 looking for the right way to make money for the station, saying the channel, whatever the hell we are over here. We need some Plus foil hats. Make it happen. Yeah, we do. We all need tinfoil hats. We have to walk around going like crazy. Look, it's real simple. We got sports. We got UFO updates. We got all kinds of updates for you. Thank you, Alan. Hopefully it's a nice day in Finland. Oh, look at this. Sporticus has a suggestion saying that maybe Bigfoot stole all the clear UFO pictures. That's got to be it. And they're all in the same room with the noise coming from it where ghost hunters are looking for ghosts. Again, how many ghost hunter shows do you need to watch before you say, they never show you a ghost in these things. Like they just simply cannot find one. Now, everybody's got a little bit of a UFO story, though. So maybe there's something to it. Bamboo Soldier says, I saw a UFO up in Tahoe once and was with 10 other people. It was a huge orb that hovered over the lake, hovered over us, then was gone. That's kind of what I saw in my backyard in Fort Wayne, Indiana, all those years ago. It was like this glowing thing that you couldn't really make out what it was. Everybody's go-to object is, it must be a weather balloon. I've never seen a weather balloon. I wouldn't even know what a weather balloon looked like. If you showed me something, you'd have to tell me, they see this? This is a weather balloon. I don't know what a weather balloon looks like. Does it look like a big balloon? I don't know. But yeah, maybe we saw the same thing, Bamboo Soldier. Maybe we were staring at that big moon part of the evening sky together that night. I don't know. See, doesn't anyone else think this way? Nathaniel Richards, why can't anyone get a clear picture of UFOs? Exactly. See, no one. Baron Red saying it's the UFO part of the show. I'd rather talk about UFOs than John Fisher, I'll tell you that. This is good advice for your post-careers. Gamble your dick off. Yay, mange. Thank you, Brett. I've not seen your name before. Welcome to you. It's wonderful to have you here. Oh, gamble your dick off is going big. Coach Saucedo, thank you very much. Yeah, just, has the concept of discretion just been completely lost on a generation of athletes? Like, mind how to keep your own P's and Q's, man. Like, mind how to keep your own business, keep your own counsel. Stop putting all your shit out on Front Street. And if you're doing something illegal, don't do it with electronic tracking and a credit card, you fucking morons. I mean, come on. Like, I want to be here to teach you how to be good guys, but if I have to teach you how to be criminals too, I can do that, and I'm clearly, as a good guy, better prepared to be a criminal than all of you. And just learn how to get away with shit. I mean, half my childhood was spent learning just how to get away with stuff. Jesse, my first Damon F-bomb. Thank you. Love, love, love. Hearts, hearts, hearts. Thank you, Jesse. I hope it was good for you. Ray Lord 84. Damon, it's called addiction. Maybe for some, this sounds more like morons getting caught than serious gambling addiction. Like, if you're saying, no, I'm not going to gamble, and you got your friends in Florida convincing you, yeah, let's do it. Let's have a $50 bet on some rinky-dink prop bet. That's not a gambling addiction as much as it's just bad advice. Just sucks. Sucks that anyone should should be convinced by morons to make such bad choices. I mean, I got smart people sitting around my personal Algonquin round table. Like when I need to go to the circle of trust for some advice, it's not a group of morons from Florida who are like, yeah, risk a 6-figure job so you can make $75 on a 2-teamer. Come on, fellas. Bringing it back to the story that Aaron Gordon. Look, here's the thing about Eric Gordon. If Eric Gordon was in line for $20 million next year, he's probably coming in at a new team at a price point that the Warriors can't afford. So unless Eric Gordon wants to really play with Chris Paul again and open a spite store with the Warriors, I will say this. Eric Gordon hasn't had a lick of fun playing basketball since he left Indiana. And if they did want to assemble as many Hoosiers onto this roster, it's only going to up the coverage here on the Plus. So, yeah, go get Eric Gordon. But I think Eric Gordon can make more money somewhere else. But Eric Gordon opening a spike. Eric Gordon coming off your bench, he didn't have a good postseason, but he can still shoot and he can play a little defense. He's not a big guard, but he's a strong guard. I have a Got Gordon t-shirt upstairs. Remember the Got Milk campaign? That was big when Eric Gordon was getting recruited by Indiana. So it was Got Gordon. I'd wear it, but it's a little too snuggly. A little too snuggly on the big boy these days. It's time to lose more weight. Bamboo Soldier's right about this. When the Warriors had that all-star game at the, what was it called? The New Arena in Oakland at the time. That Vince Carter hanging off the rim dunk was unbelievable. That was like the last great all-star game. The last great dunk contest anyways. And this is why I'm worried about L.A., because RIP Cougar Rebel asked the right question. Are you talking about Inglewood or Staples for L.A. being in the bidding here? I could see how the only way Chase Center doesn't get the 2025 All-Star game is if they say, all right, Steve Ballmer, you spend money like a drunken sailor in this league, so we'll give it to you. But Joe Lacob is like the original drunken sailor spender, so let's go with the OG. Jogging. Russillo did a hit yesterday with 95.7 saying that he isn't picking the Warriors as a favorite, but they're in the hunt, and that's all you can ask for. I mean, that's the right way to, I think, say it. I don't think it would be nuts to say the Warriors are absolutely the favorite team to come out of the Western Conference to win the finals. When you look at the Denver Nuggets, you still have to give it to them as defending champs who aren't really losing much. So, I think that's the right way to describe it. They're not the favorite, but they're going to be in the conversation, and that's what the Warriors are shooting for. They want to be in the conversation for as long as they can have. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? We got Rap Album Depot. Thank you very much, Rap Album Depot. Cool shirt. Sell. I do like this shirt. I didn't know I was going to have a chance to wear it again so quickly. But, there's just all kinds of opportunities to be outraged when it comes to the A's. Adam, do you think that baseball should put an asterisk next to this perfect game because it was against the A's? I mean, no, but yes, all at the same time. Of all the perfect, if you could, what is your perfect ranking, your perfect game power rankings? In the perfect game power rankings, I don't know that was the 24th no-hitter or excuse me, I keep on calling it a no-hitter, was a perfect game. The 24th perfect game in Major League Baseball. Is that what we saw last night? I don't know how you would stack up 1 through 23, but I do know which comes in dead last, and it's the one you saw last night. Of all the perfect games, it's got the least perfect game value, game score that you could possibly assign to it. And I don't think that that's unfair. I think Mark Kotze would tell you, yeah, that's probably right. Robin Lopez on the veteran minimum. I thought it was going to be Brooke Lopez on the veteran minimum. I don't know if you're getting either Lopez for the veteran minimum, to be honest with you. Otis Bird, our man. Always good to see you, Otis. That Vince Carter, Jay Rich dunk contest were the last great dunk contests. Indeed, after that, stars stopped doing dunk contests with the exception of Dwight Howard. I remember the Dwight Howard Superman cape one, but that was more shtick than it was a great dunk. And it was just amazing how, what did he put, like a quarter on top of the backboard or something? Or a sticker that he slapped it up there? Nathaniel Richards gets it. Spite Store, shout out Curb. Indeed. Indeed. I was watching just the other day the Seinfeld episode. And I always knew that Larry David appearances in Seinfeld episodes are always fun to see. He plays the man in the cape. He plays, famously, he's the voice of George Steinbrenner when George is working for the Yankees. And then Larry David, I saw him, he was providing change in the episode where George is trying to convince the girl that he's not crazy, and then he ends up wearing the King Richard thing, and so he's dressed like a king walking down the street with Kramer. It's not the feel bad for Lloyd Braun because he just went cuckoo episode. It's another trying to prove you're not crazy episode. See, I'm actually watching a lot of Seinfeld reruns this week because Jillian's not here. Jillian doesn't like Seinfeld. She doesn't get signed. She just doesn't get that brand of humor. I always like to tell her, what are you, anti-Semitic? What is it? You don't like, you don't. But I love Seinfeld to this day. I love Curb, but because Jillian doesn't really like Seinfeld, she doesn't like Curb, two of the best shows my wife is just not interested in. She's in London this week, so I've been crushing Seinfeld episodes. They run them like in a marathon on, what is it, on TBS or something right now, Comedy Central. Comedy Central is basically just South Park, Office, and Seinfeld reruns. And I got to be honest, I'm here for all three. Golden State Lakota asked the very, very important question. You ever see aliens?
On weed.
Excellent. Excellent. This is a very good big brain thought here from Azure, who keeps on showing up. It looks like we officially got a new pluser in Azure. Thank you very much. Says, I think we forgot that athletes are people and people aren't generally skilled in reasoning and logic. So true. So true. Yeah, the amount of people who sabotage themselves with the choices that they make, it's extraordinary. It's absolutely extraordinary. Brian Chan says, that Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine dunk contest was really good. You know what? I remember that, and I'm going to give it to you, Brian. You have changed my mind. I believe we could say and circle that as the last great dunk contest. And like so many great dunk contests, the guy who should have won the dunk contest didn't. Like, I'm as big of a Michael Jordan fan, and obviously Michael Jordan's going to win the dunk contest that happens at the United Center. Dominique was better that night. Dominique should have won that dunk contest. And I think that Aaron Gordon should have, not Eric Gordon. We have an Aaron Gordon and an Eric Gordon in my mind today. But Yeah, Gordon should have won. The guy who did win, I didn't think had the best dunk. By the way, Bamboo Soldier, when Jerry tries to return the jacket out of spite, you can't return a jacket out of spite. That is definitely where the Spite Store Ideas episode comes. There are so many Easter eggs between Curb Your Enthusiasm episodes and Seinfeld episodes. Serenity now. Serenity now, Ernie. Indeed. How about that? We've officially lost both of George Costanza's parents. He's gone and she's gone now. God, they just had that episode too where she's the doll. George's mother looks like that doll. Eric, you're right. I'm the ass man. Fusilli Jerry. Fusilli Jerry. Giddy up. All right, boys and girls. I honestly sat down today thinking that this was going to be like a short show. We're probably not going to go an hour today. There wasn't that much stuff really in the news beyond my pissed off outrage. Is this officially like the best, sexiest lighting we've ever had for Club Plus? I think this is pretty good. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to go this long. And as Erwin says, you stop short. That's my move. I stop short. I stop short. Very good. Erwin, thank you all so very much for joining us for the Damon Bruce Show, for Club Plus. It means an awful lot. I love you guys and gals. You are the best. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you for hanging out. Cheers to all of you. Cheers. Have a great rest of your Thursday. And then tomorrow, we are going to start dipping into NBA free agency. I will be shocked if Draymond Green does not return, and it's safe to say that the Warriors would be too. Hopefully that is not in the deck of cards that is waiting for them. Thank you for waiting for me. If you got in line before the show even started, you made it through the whole show, you're fantastic. Thank you very, very much. And I'd hate to tell you that you have to go home, because you don't have to. You just can't stay here.